So we had a storm here, and they were talking about the wind gusts up to 80 to 100 miles an hour on this storm. So I came home from work to try to get some peaches off of my tree so it didn't snap. See some damage up there on my basswood tree. So these peaches would have been ready probably any day now. They were already starting to get soft, so I pulled a bunch off. The tree, and amazingly enough, it was only the one branch that I expected to break broke off of this. Oh, I lost my little apple tree. So my apple tree's gone, my little one in the back. But so I was watching from the back, and I mean, it was completely crazy. And can you see what happened back here? It is destroyed in our backyard. We have lost some of those big pine trees in the back, where that was all shady and pretty back there, have completely snapped off, which isn't actually that surprising. Pine trees do that, but all of the lawn furniture went flying across the yard. It's nowhere where it started. Look at that. Got pine trees in my garden. When I came out the front door, I was commenting that it smelled like wood out here, and now I see why, because there's wood all over out here. We lost a big branch off our huge tulip tree back here. It looks like it split some of that. Those trees were huge. They were huge. Check this out. What a mess. But saddest is I have been spending the last several years building all this up back here, and my nice maple tree that was really becoming a tree. It looks like the whole inside of it fell out. And my beautiful birch tree is all mangled. I'm not entirely sure what happened to it, but it's not right. But there is good news. You see that big part of the whole inside of my maple tree fell. It moved that wagon, which is usually behind Steve's garage. It moved that wagon like all the way out. That's pretty impressive. There's a shelter over by the propane tank that came, I guess, out of the chicken run. Steve's garage on Steve's roof on his garage didn't do too well either. But the good news is the chicken coop is still standing, which I was concerned about. I was especially concerned about the run. The run is still here. The chickens are okay. There's that pine tree. It knocked the entire height out of the pine tree. That stinks. It's also got a huge split here too. Split it all the way down. There's where my shelter was. It just completely picked that shelter up and blew it to pieces and flung it out in the yard. This could have been worse, but I'll be curious to see what the winds actually were for that. Because like I said, I was watching it out the back, and it was absolutely crazy watching it blow. And we were supposed to get 80 to 100 mile an hour winds with that storm. So now, kind of makes me see what you hurricane people go through when you guys have those crazy winds. But the chickens are fine. I don't know, one of my favorite hobbies these last couple years since they tore the trees out has been buying trees and planting them, so I guess I'll just get to start again. But that makes me really sad. Back there it was all pine tree, and there's like nothing there now. That's what happens. Check out my nice patio stuff there. So much for that, huh? Okay, now that it's not still storming and we aren't at risk of lightning, we'll come out and look at the aftermath. Knocked all the apples off the tree. They probably weren't going to be good anyways, but still. I just noticed this. All my sunflowers are gone. Those big sunflowers. I didn't have a ton, but the ones that were there are gone. There they are. That huge one was so big. There's my pretty little hedge that I've spent the last couple years making. Somewhere under there is my redbud tree and my viburnum bushes that I carefully selected and have been have been tending to the last couple years. So one of the most amazing parts of this was this quail pen. It was on these blocks, and this storm like just picked it up, like shoved it backwards. Look how far it shoved it back. And right into the run here, it kind of knocked that one post out of the way. But that is just crazy. Knocked it right off the blocks, but so far back. And this thing is unbelievably heavy. Nothing hit it and pushed it back. It just must have been the wind, I guess. Crazy. All right, I don't see any dead quail. They're all okay, but wow. It's all wet in there, but that's quite understandable. All right, guys, we'll stay safe out there. At least it's a lot cooler than it was. It was super hot and muggy, so I guess it's a little better.